Okay, that's bike lane. Today we're talking about student life at Stanford. This video is my small welcoming gift to the Stanford class of 2020, although I'm hoping others will find it useful or interesting as well. Many of you submitted lots of great questions on AskFM and Snapchat, although I couldn't get to all of them in this video. However, I did answer all of them in a blog post entitled Stanford Freshman Q&A, a gift to the 2020 bunnies. Link in the description. Don't forget these answers are coming from one student's perspective at a school with over 7,000 undergrads, and the views and opinions shared in this post do not necessarily reflect those of the university. Let's get started. What time do Stanford students typically wake up and eat breakfast? I'd say your generic non-D1 athlete, non-morning person is gonna be up. Michael Parrott. He was my first Stanford crush. Your generic non-D1 athlete, non-morning person is gonna be up anywhere between 9 and 10:30 a.m. What should I do the summer before my freshman year? It is mind-numbingly boring. Start a blog. That's what I did. How do you like to hold laundry? Interesting way of phrasing the question, but I use a hamper. What's the party scene like at Stanford? If you're looking to party, there is usually at least one all-campus party per week. All-campus meaning that everyone is invited and everyone has to be invited. From my understanding, the university requires certain organizations, I think predominantly fraternities, to organize all-campus parties once per quarter. This is in an effort to promote inclusivity and to promote a welcoming, non-exclusive campus. Student culture, student life, student feels. But that's just the all campuses. Those tend to be like really big parties where the fraternities or whoever's throwing it will put a lot of effort into production, but there are also much smaller, much more intimate, and in my opinion, much more fun gatherings that happen on a more regular basis. What are the top 3 things we should bring for Stanford specifically that we might not think about? An umbrella, a beach towel, and a warm coat. Can you explain a little bit more about symbolic systems? Symsys is a very Stanford-y major in that it includes CS and is interdisciplinary APP. There's a link in the description where you can find out more information about the major. Also, funny side note, if you look at the Wikipedia page for Symsys, under the notable current student subsection, someone added Cath in college. But then I was really bummed out to click on it and find that there isn't a Wikipedia page for Cath in college, so I was going to write my own, and I created an account and got to that point, but then I was about to start writing and it just felt too weird. I was like, nah, I can't do that. Do students at Stanford use Tinder? We sure do. When you are an RA, will you allow kids to have stuffy stuff in their room? And you know what I mean. I would say of course, because I mean, if you were sleeping on just a pillow sheet, that would be super uncomfortable. I've read and heard that lots of frats have terrible reps. What would you recommend to a frosh who wants to rush but also avoid the stereotypes? To anybody who finds themselves in this position, I have this to say. Think long and hard about which, if any, fraternity you decide to pledge. Some fraternities are taking more action than others to change the narrative surrounding Greek culture. And if you do decide to pledge, make a commitment to yourself to try to affect positive change from the inside. Just be aware that that could be easier said than done if you're immersed in a largely socially, mentally, economically, and racially homogenous group. Has your experience with dating / hookup culture / boys at Stanford been a positive one? 9 out of 10 would recommend. How did your study habits change when you got to Stanford? Because you're in classes for a lot fewer hours per week and per day, studying feels a lot less rushed, in my opinion. You have much more time to enjoy the process of learning as opposed to just jamming information in your head so that you can memorize it and regurgitate it on a test. Is it safe to have loft bed sex? I hear the view is nice. Should we bring condoms to Stanford? You don't have to! Your RAs will be supplying you with what will seem to be an unlimited supply of condoms. And if you don't want to get them from your RA, although seriously, don't sweat it, it's totally fine. Every student gets 30 free condoms per quarter at Shipwreck. Don't forget, I answered many more questions in a blog post, link in the description. If you've got more questions, feel free to hit me up, and if you're new to Cath in college, I encourage you to stick around and explore a little bit more. When it comes to the CIC community, most people come for Stanford, but stick around for basically everything else. As always, thank you for watching, like and subscribe if you feel like it, and I'll see you soon. Callie, you're gonna break that desk.
And your leg. Get down!
I'm trying to break my leg. The desk, no.
Dude, get
off the desk!
It is a little bit warpy.